What's up, everybody?
Awesome.
Hello and welcome.
Welcome everybody to the third edition of the AIM podcast, All Is Mind. I hope you guys enjoyed the first 2 episodes. We are here with Riehan Bakkes of Bakkes Images, an expert in the industry, videography, photography, anything with the ography. My name is Junaid.
Yeah. What's up, guys? Luke and Listen here today. It's been a long time coming, and I'm sure we've got a lot to learn. We have Bakkes Images himself. He's been in the game for 22 years now?
Probably,
years. Yeah. So super excited to have him on the podcast. Let's just, I guess, dive straight into it.
So you said 22 years in the industry. Can you first explain the industry that you're in and what it is that you do?
Yeah, sure. I'm a stills photographer, specifying in wine and beverage photography as a niche. Mm-hmm. It's kind of where I landed. What's it now? More than since 2008. Okay, so wine photography is a little bit of a specialty thing. You work a lot with glass and reflective surfaces. You know, some guys freak out when they see that. They can't figure out why am I in it. And I think it just landed as a niche where we live in the winelands. It makes sense. Product photography, commercial photography is what I do. I like that type of thing. But before that, I mean, I've been shooting since 1997.
Jesus.
Yeah.
It's 23.
Oh, there were no digital cameras.
I was 1 year old.
Yeah.
You were born. That was your
December.
Jesus.
That's crazy.
Anyway, so as a professional and going pro and doing commercial work, it was in the wine industry. It's only recently that I've expanded to lifestyle and fashion photography, just to broaden out and just try new genres. Trying different genres are very good for you and keeping you fit because it's completely different. There's new things to learn, new ways to shoot and new equipment to use. Like I always say is, if you don't work in the photography industry, because the guys that sell cameras and service them work in the photography industry. I work in the wine industry. So you apply yourself and your knowledge and your mindset exactly to that industry, and that helps you niche it in, because you got to know what they're talking about, what they're looking for, what you can shoot and can't shoot, what's good and bad for them. A guy that shoots cars isn't in the photography industry, he's in the cars industry, the motor trade. He knows exactly how to do that, what they're looking for, how to do it. Same as fashion, same as everything else. Heaven forbid, weddings and all that type of thing.
I see. So you come all the way back from like the dodging and burning days, and you've been in love with the craft for so long. So if I had to ask you, I know like it's a very niched industry. You can get into all of these different things. So in a nice way, it's almost like a key to open the door to whatever else you'd like to do. Stripping it back, taking us back sort of 20 years. What was the thing that you fell in love with? What was your passion that drew you into the photography industry? Yeah, into photography.
Well, I was passionate about skateboarding and photography and surfing. That was my passions.
Yeah.
And
want you to be a professional with training in that?
No. I was what we call a competitive freestyler. Okay. You don't do competitions, but of course you fight for your spot in the lineup and respect and that type of thing. I mean, I've skated since I was 5 and surfed since I was 14. And then naturally you start scanning the magazines, checking what the pros overseas are doing, especially because we grew up in the dark times of South Africa. It was really hard to come by those magazines because of sanctions and that.
Yeah.
Your magazines.
So when you got one, you're like,
just go into YouTube.
Oh God, it's Tony Hawk, check him go. And shot Tony Hawk, by the way.
Yeah. Shout out.
Shout out Tony Hawk.
You checked them on Instagram, by the way.
Really?
Anyway, so and it's like, wow, these photos are cool. Those guys are traveling, and it's quite an artistic way for them to shoot, and it is the beauty of the sport. I mean, skateboarding for me is a beautiful sport, and surfing obviously comes with the natural aspect, and it's just awesome. So not so much even the travel, at that time, you're also so connected with your friends, and it's like all these good times. You're bunking class, going on surf trips, and you have real good times. So you want to try and capture it.
I see.
So then you get camera, and you're like, oh, it's not so easy. And then you get passionate because it's such a massive struggle, and you don't know how it works, and you want to get good. I mean, you don't want to just clap it on program mode and hit it. Even then, you can't take a good shot.
Yeah.
Never mind talking of the fact that it wasn't digital. So, it was a different process.
You had to do everything.
You had to shoot it right.
Yeah.
And then soon we started getting published in magazines overseas. Right, and then you start thinking, wow, hang on, there's some cash here. It's a career option. Okay, this was in the days where it wasn't so much a career option as today, where creatives are creating stuff all the time and getting paid for it.
Yeah.
And I remember there's one magazine coming back from Brazil in a paper envelope, but the thing was torn. It was traveling. I mean, I've still gone across the globe. The mag was half hanging out of it.
Yeah.
So it's a miracle. I just slipped it out.
Just really open.
That's how it worked, right? So you shot trainees, slide film, you mount them in those plastic mounts.
Yeah.
You ask them for their FedEx numbers, okay? Federal Express, courier company.
Yeah.
They give you the account number and you flog it, you send it, and they pay for it.
What?
So it's this wad of shots. And then they'll keep it for a long time because they also want to keep it out of circulation for the other mags to not publish the story, if they're going to or not. So that first choice is very important. And if you get the slides back or a magazine back, then it's been published. Otherwise, they won't give you a free magazine.
Oh, so if your work gets in.
Yeah, okay, but the slides would come later because they still keep it out of circulation because they want the run of that magazine to finish first before someone else could quickly. But it's like you putting something on Instagram and your clients, pissed because they wanted to use it first.
Yeah.
And as I opened that magazine, between every page, it was like US dollars packed in between it.
Oh,
So
dollars though.
And then you're like, okay, this is cool. I can do this.
Yeah.
How did you get? Where did it start? Like, how? Like, you got your camera, the ones with the sound effects.
Yeah.
Then it's like, okay, now I'm taking pictures. My boys are out. Where did you go? Like, where did you send those pictures for it to get published, or for where did that happen?
Well, it first starts with you just actually keeping it for yourself. It's a record of your life because you're having the time of your life. You're not a grown up per se. You don't have responsibilities or children. I was studying at the time, and even then, it was free enough to go and do all these missions. And then we started. I had a good friend, Douglas Cockwell. He lives in Amsterdam, in Holland now, I think, or Germany.
Oh, shout out Douglas. I met his brother on the yachts.
Doug and his brother Gordon were world champion bodyboarders, but he was also a world champion photographer, an ocean photographer, okay? So he's been in every big magazine, he's been on billboards and whatever, not just himself, of course, but he was a professional surfer. And then his cash was shooting for these magazines.
That's amazing.
And he taught me how to do it. So I owe a lot to him, of course. And with him and his connections internationally, the heroes we were looking up to started coming to Cape Town, and Doug was the kindest, most generous guy, wouldn't keep it to himself. He just go like, hey Bakkes, man, Spencer Skip is here from Hawaii, is here tomorrow morning, 4 a.m, bro. 4 a.m, you're there. By 10 o'clock we're in the water in Knysna. Daar ry ons. The petrol didn't cost a lot of money. Then you shoot these guys and you hang out with these absolute heroes. You try and play it cool.
Yeah. Oh my. You're sweating in the back. We didn't even surf. Why are you wet?
Can I carry your wetsuit? No. It's like,
Can I smell it?
the point is, now you're sitting on gold because now you got world champs on your photos. Now you get known. So it's a very important lesson. Whatever you're going to shoot, make sure that the content is right. I mean, I could have gone and shot Johnny at Strand. I mean, nothing. But now you got a world champion, world famous in the circles. Remember, because your fame then, there wasn't no Instagram and Facebook and stuff. Okay? You were famous because you won the title. You were in magazines, and you were sponsored by a board company and a wetsuit. That's it. Okay. So, and there you have it. And then the Red Bull big wave surfing started, and Doug got me in there. He's like, come on, let's go shoot these guys. I'm like, wow, that's just crazy.
You always need that guy, bro.
Yeah.
But the point is, he was generous enough to do it. Where it's so easy to go, no, I'm going to keep it for myself. Don't take my shine, dude. It's just my gig.
Yeah.
And that's super prevalent in Cape Town as well, for people to hold things back.
You need to be secure in yourself to get beyond that level of competition. That's not competition.
Yeah.
That's tripping the guy just before the
finish
line, you know?
I resonate with that.
What he did is he's the guy that just loved human beings so much, and he loved his friends so much that he'd rather give you that push by the finish line.
Yeah.
And I always think of chefs as well. You know, you can't be nervous of your sous chef getting better than you, because it's your responsibility to train that guy to get better, and it's your responsibility to give him enough thinking to get better than you, because you've given him that thought, that freedom, that responsibility. And if he overtakes you, if he surpasses you, it's your wake up call to up your game.
A lot of people fall into the fear game instead of understanding that as a teacher, in order for you to teach, you also need to get better. You know, because that person's going to be learning all the things that you give him.
Absolutely.
And it's taken you years to get it, but it's just word of mouth. They're in your presence. They're learning much quicker than you. And then it's if you have it as a competition, get better then. You know, don't, I'm scared.
Why are we like this?
Yeah.
Are we taught to be like that? Yeah, Johnny, you gotta be 18, man. Don't let that guy get the spot. You gotta be 18. And then you got the medal. So what? So what? Beating is just as cool, if not more fun. If you're not gonna make a career out of it. Whatever.
Yes.
That's true.
It's like, enjoy the process. An award, a win, is temporary.
It is.
Yeah.
You can't hang on to, ultimately a world title is a world title, but people will forget.
Completely.
Now they go, this rugby guy is playing for the Springboks. You're like, okay, well, shoot, let's go. Which one?
Yeah. For me though, I find like those little accomplishments are good if you're using them as motivation to be better, to learn more. But if you're using them as like a place to stand on and to sort of shout at the people below you or whatever it is to preach from, then there's a massive problem. But like personally, I try to motivate myself every day to be better than I was, in a way, because in that way I'd like to reach the same level of like prestige within myself that would come with being in the A team, but without necessarily having to rely on, I've done these things. It's more like, no, I can do this now, if that makes sense. Like in the moment, I'm a better person because I pushed myself.
Totally. And there's different ways of teaching. I mean, Gordon Ramsay shouts at these people, breaks them down. You know? I don't appreciate the way, but some people have respect. If it's like that in their life or not, you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
The point is, as a creative, specifically, no one can do what you can do, because it is 90% you as a human being.
Never.
I love that.
I love that.
Their finger will be slower on the shot. Even if they could have the same shot, they can't have the same shot because you can't have a camera in front of the other one. One of them's going to lose. All right? It's a mindset. What you see through a lens is something that has come with you since the day you were born. The way that you see it, the way you compose it. There are no clear rules. It comes from you. If it is, I got to finish this job because, I really need the payment for this job, so I want to make it nice. Or if it is like, dude, it just looks beautiful to me like that,
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm going to shift it this way. Or, if I was on the beach shooting the same professional as Doug, who was, a more skilled photographer and technique and experience by far, he just enjoyed to see me so happy, and he would get those shots of mine, training them, and send them in his same package.
Yes.
Our photos would get back-to-back published, and this guy didn't have a lot of cash at the time. He just loved to see his friends get so stoked. So for every shot of mine that was in that magazine, there's potential. It's money straight out of his pocket. Okay, mind you, Doug did sleep on my floor for many years, and he was totally indebted. But
we all have that feeling.
But I could never give him enough for what he's given me. Yeah. And then there's a system of people through your life that just gives you that extra push and gets you into the industry. There's many other people I can mention.
Yes.
But Douglas Cocker was that very generous person, along with a lady called Riehan Bakkes in Cape Town, and got me into the industry here. also just spotted potential and the fire in me, and she got me out of the transport industry as a, and got me and gave me a job, and taught me everything about the business, not just surf magazines, whatever. That was kind of like guys in slops flopping around and paying late and whatever. Peanuts for the world. And that was that.
Yeah. But that must have been so important for you to sort of go through that surfing stage and like really building the like creativity and the love and the passion for the thing. Because like, I think maybe I'm wrong, but if you'd gone straight into the corporate, I probably would have taken away from the real love of the thing, like the reason that you're doing it. Or am I like incorrect in saying?
I suppose. I didn't walk that path to know, but yes. I mean, if you go in as, Riehan, this is your job. All right, you come in here and we're shooting tackies all day long. No, that's not creative.
Yeah, that's not creative.
Skills-wise, obviously doing nature, you learn landscape, you have to work with natural light and all that, so you kind of get that. Especially on film where it's like you got that one shot.
Yeah.
So definitely that angle was beneficial, and then later to bring it to studio, because the guy that climbs into studio photography and lighting and now all of a sudden he goes outside, but he might not know what to do. I don't know. Guys take so many different paths in getting there. Some people just aren't interested in, I don't want to do any studio work. But I mean, it was fascinating for me. Like, geez, how does this work? I want to check that out. I mean, when you get your first lighting set, you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just try it.
Let's go. Yeah.
Damn. No. I actually still have those lights. They still work.
You mentioned transport industry. Haley got you out of the transport industry. What were you doing there?
I studied economics at Stellenbosch, and then I did a master's and honors and a master's degree in transport economics and logistics management, because I like math. Yeah, it's cool.
Yes, same.
And my marks weren't so good, so I thought, fuck, I can do that. It'll let me in.
Yeah.
It was important to get those degrees because I wanted them. It was a thing I had to do, and I wanted to get through this mathematics business. And then I went and worked in the transport industry for a company I shall not name, and it was horrible. I hated it. Oh, suit. Yeah, okay, it's cool in a suit.
It's
gave
cool.
me fancy cars. You get your own car, petrol. You're like, and Audi TTs on weekend and stuff. Yeah, it's legit.
Then you get to like just take the cars out.
Yeah, but I must be careful now what I say. Yeah. Then they saw me as this gifted prodigal child that's got all this knowledge in transport economics. Other guys don't have it. You gotta come to Joburg. You're gonna climb the ladder. You're gonna be there in no time.
Yeah.
I was like, this is not like, I don't do Joburg. I do Joburg. You fly in, land by 8 a.m. and out by 8 p.m. Well, that's how it works.
No, that's how it works.
I don't want to go live there because my passion was still surfing, photography, and skateboarding. This is where I was. So, and I mean, then that was 2005. So I was young. And it was the beginning of my career. I could still shift it, but I knew this isn't so interesting. And I always knew I had to pursue the photography thing.
How did you know them?
I don't know. Oh, I do know. I watched Star Wars, man. A lot. I watched it over and over and over and over again. And it was, at that time, this is when I'm like 3-4 years old, right? So out of our world. Like, this is sci-fi, and it was done well. It's like believable. It's not like a weird shit.
It's like the first special effects ever.
No, but you're like, what?
Yeah.
And you start noticing, wow, that looks cool. It's framed nicely. The cinematic aspect ratio is so cool. I like it. So I guess because I watched so many movies, and I wasn't tuned to my parents, go play outside and done, because we played outside. When we were done, we watched a couple movies.
A couple movies like every
Rambo and Rocky and Chuck Norris.
Switching the episodes by yourself.
No, but we had to sit and wait. You had to go play outside because there was nothing on till 5 o'clock. Then your buddy's parents got in there, bro, and you're like, what?
That will probably be the most shocking thing he ever says to the audience that's probably going to be watching us. That's like,
you have to wait until 5 o'clock.
You have to wait
to watch.
No, dude, you had to wait until 5 o'clock. Then first there's a soapy on. And you gotta sit through that. Ultimately, you start liking the soap.
Yeah, you do. That's
And
conditioning.
then you get to the good stuff.
I don't even speak Afrikaans, but I watch all of Seven Vanilla.
Dude, the whole thing.
The whole thing. Just not knowing anything. I was like, that person looks good. I like them.
That's a nice
Seven Alone was your childhood one, eh?
Yeah.
Me too, actually. My grandmother used to watch Seven Alone.
And Issy Dingo, bro.
Yeah.
So I think
Boy.
watching movies and creative movies like that, it will be etched into your mind. Just composition, how to do this, and wow, why do I like that scene so much? It's because it's, in the cloud city, it's all like nice light, it's like sweet.
So it's very technical for you. The things that you enjoy.
I suppose because I never put a thought into how do they make it. I thought it was real.
Yeah.
So you just, this is sick. Then before I started taking stills for the surfing thing, I had a camcorder and we were making surf movies, okay? Me and the chummies.
that's so
So we had 4 of them.
Yeah.
I've lost 2 of the cassettes.
Yeah.
Cassette
You
tapes.
can't even play them anymore.
VHS.
Play that.
I've got to play it. I've got 2, and so I begged my father, please, man, I need to go do filmmaking. This is sick. I love it. Because we're watching now the surf movies that you get and the skate videos. Remember that we got from the States during apartheid that had to get smuggled in. It was in THC, dude.
Yeah.
So who's got to convert it? How can we view this on PAL TV?
Yeah, you can't even watch it. It's all wrong.
So we copy it from each other, like copy. You know, you play in the one recorder, you record in the other one, you plug it in. So the color goes, it starts getting hazy, the sound goes. So when you get it, it's ripped. It's like, but you're done because you got the new video. We Santa Cruz Streets on Fire, 1981, bro. You right?
Every movie's coming out black and white.
Yeah. No, but I mean, give it now. Yeah, bro, I do original. What can the rake means?
Yeah.
So we watch those as well. Even though if you look at them now, they're super amateur, and it's like it's not really art. It's not what video, because then you had cinema people and skate video guys. So you got that, and it became doable. Like, let's video this, and then my dad, bless him, he was also a supporter in what you want to do, and if you want to do it, he'll try his best to get it done. He can't ever tell you what to do, and he shouldn't. So he took me to, I think it was called the Cape Town Film Academy or Cape Town Film Studios or something. It was the first film school in Cape Town. And we got an interview, and I went and saw the principal, whoever he was, and we sit in this auditorium cinema. And I put my surf video in there. Yes, it was bad.
It's good.
I was expecting that.
The point is, I knew it was bad. Okay, this is me a camcorder, no trouble. It's like the wind's howling, you see and to get the infographics on, like, this is the dude singing, this is the title. You have to actually like type it out on a PC and print it, and then videotape it with this thing, and then it had some effects that you can run, like a cup of negative, whatever.
Oh, that's so
but it's so garage, dude.
You have to do text like physically.
And
It's like, I want this
again
aerial font.
on my dad's support. He snuck us into his faculty where he worked. I'm not saying where, and they had a cinema there for presentations and stuff. So it was this big thing, so it's all screening, the premiere.
That's so
everything else coming and shit. We loved it. It was lame, dude. It was super lame, but I mean, how cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's so
And
cool.
this guy, push play, and I'm like, okay, check this. And they're still trying to get into this film school, okay? But I'm like 18, yeah? If not 19, I don't quite know. No, 18, just out of school. I think his first comment, I don't know, because it's the opening shot. I'll never forget it. And he just goes like, "Yeah, it's a bit shaky." And I said, "So you're not looking, okay?"
Yeah.
So you gotta understand. I'm sitting in the wind, in the cold, with a wetsuit, taping. It's like, forget about that. You're gonna teach me how to do that, right?
Yeah.
Okay? But check the edit. I had 2 VCRs.
Yeah.
So I gotta cup it from this one to that one. Try and mix it up with music on a CD or a tape thing.
Yeah.
So I can only copy it over, run it back, do it again, and bring audio in, and try and make it happen to the beats and stuff. It's like, please, don't give me that shit.
Yeah.
Check it out. That's
Took me 2 years
legit.
to make this.
I'm not beginning. Yo's gonna teach me how to do it.
Yeah.
And I got him.
That's crazy.
Because he checked, okay, bro, yeah, serious. Either that or he's not gonna fucking leave.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it was too costly, and my dad just begged me, please, dude, I can't afford it.
Yeah.
And I said, sure, Dad. And I went and studied something else, which was more affordable. That we spoke about before, logistics and whatever. It took a long time. There was a good run, and I'm very happy for it because it taught me business.
You just want to go study?
No, I thought, let's do a career in this and that. Then, obviously I developed a massive interest for political science and economics and psychology, and that was all part of the course. And funny then how if you want to do something and it's going to be your thing, you can do whatever in the meantime. It will end up there.
It will.
And I've said it many before. We've had the discussion. If you're into the ocean and you wanted to be a marine biologist, for argument's sake, and things don't work out for you to be that, and you go study law, your interest is still in the ocean. So the chances are 90% that you're going to end up a maritime way or something.
That makes sense.
Everything will come back.
That makes complete sense.
Because that is where your wiring is. That's my 2 cents.
I wanted to ask you, do you see yourself in future, seeing as you said you wanted to go into film, and like you're so close now because you're already in the same industry but you're doing stills, would you still try your hand at film in future?
Yeah.
Is it something that you're sort of like working towards, or is it more just of like a passion project?
No, I would definitely. Okay, what puts me off a little bit is there's so much around making motion. Okay, it's not as simple. I quite like the simplicity of the stills production versus that. I would love to try it, and this is how I do things. I'd first do my own projects and just get a feel for it. And if it needs to become a commercial thing, I'd rather, on the size of it, hire in the guys that can do it and can do it professionally. Being in the game now for long enough, there's not time to muck around.
So would you
get
then
the pros in and do it?
Would you then be like, let's say, creative director role?
Yeah,
Is that
definitely.
like where what resonates with you? You wouldn't want to be like a camera operator.
That's absolutely it. And I run production on those things anyway. The client comes, we need some video. I said, cool, bring a video team. Then I can still do stills over their shoulder, and you get a stills option as well.
That makes sense.
So, yeah, it's interesting. It's super interesting.
Do you have any projects in the works for that, or is it something
Film.
that you still film? Yeah, like any video projects.
And also, what types of films would you want to make?
Apparently, my camera's pretty good at it.
Is it?
What camera do you have?
EOS R5.
Yes, is that in like
So 120p, 8K. What does that mean?
8K?
What? Where's 5, 6,
Too many
and 7?
Ks. Are you gonna get to the
4K.
shop?
So apparently, you can do slow-mo with that camera.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's insane. Shout out,
I did figure out where to switch that part on.
Is it a whole separate thing?
Yeah.
Is it like a hyperdrive button on the side?
No, it's one button, but
One
then
button.
the menu changes.
Oh, it's like the Star Wars.
I'm just trying to figure it out on stills just yet, but I would like to do fashion film. At the moment, I really appreciate it. It's just such quick, artistic bursts.
I also enjoy that.
It's slow-mo.
Artistic
It's a
bursts.
simple
Like
shot
it's
of an
cool.
eye and hair blowing in the wind.
Would you say that you like getting results quick, like for anything that you do? Like you want to do the thing and then get that result, and so that you know that you either did right or wrong?
No, there's no chance I'm going to get it right in the first time.
Yeah.
No chance in hell. That's why I won't go public with it.
Because I'm talking, because I have a Forex channel and it's longer form videos, but what I've noticed about myself is I love doing TikToks, I love doing Instagram small reels and things like that, and it's because I usually get ideas and it's a small idea that I just want to package in a short form and then see the product of it. So I was wondering with the stills versus film, your passion seems to lie in the quick. I don't know if it's right.
If I understand you correctly, you're trying to say that a stills production is more instantly, the results are instantaneous, correct? But it's not so, because there's a ton of work that goes in it. Just and there's a lot you can change on it. Let's just take a step back. What I do like about the process is the planning around it, involving the other creatives. What I love about photography is not holding a camera and hitting the shutter. That's not it anymore. It's all these beautiful people that we get to know and meet. Sure, Most of them are broke. Yeah, they don't have Ferraris. Nah, they're not financial guys, whatever. They're superhumans. They carry abilities that other people can't understand. A stylist, a makeup artist, a runner, a gaffer. Dude, the people I've met, they're the coolest people. I'll take a bullet. And then, you can go sit and you can talk about, finance and investment and that type of thing. No. Because it's almost underappreciated what they can do. They're superhumans. Dude. I can't do what they do. I need them. There's no way.
That's so true.
And all those guys can be there and they can use another photographer and it'll be a completely different outcome. And that is so nice. And when people work together and they start trusting each other, and you have to pick up the phone and say, man, I need you. Like, this isn't just a test shoot. I'm there. I'm available. Let's do it.
Yeah.
I that hits home for me so hard because I've only moved in here a month and a half ago or 2 months ago. And my perception on the creative industry was always like, but what are you guys doing? Like, it all seems to, like, there seems to be no structure to it. And then you just see a bunch of people coming together, and the people's always like, broke or whatever. And I mean, the top oaks obviously get paid a lot when it's done right.
Oh, but
or at least from my view back then. And I'm learning more now. But it's like, as soon as I came in here and I saw what he was doing, and just being in this area and seeing what you're doing, the professional setup, seeing your house, the amazing artworks and whatever, I just formed a different appreciation to see the behind the scenes. And then more importantly, like you mentioned, the people. The people are cool people because they're not sucked into the 9 to 5 or the somebody has control of my life. It seems more like I have control of my life. And also, I don't care about the money, which is another thing that people get sucked into. So I just developed like a completely different appreciation for creativity and what you guys can do and the feeling that you guys can evoke for other people. And that's what
definitely. And it almost feels like people don't appreciate it. They walk past something like that. Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's difficult.
But there's a reason why it's officially termed the struggling artist. Some of them make a bit, but what they don't see is the stylist working his or her ass off till late in the night, getting everything ready for a shoot, or just reading and researching and building. People can't easily go study to be a stylist. It doesn't happen. People don't see me and other photographers going through massive training online at night trying to perfect, where what we're doing is fine. Why? But you got to constantly strive to be better. You'll never be the best, but if you give up on striving, you've given up, and then it's going to die out quickly for you because you're going to be awake. Every second someone's going to be better than you or just, get you past. But I just want to finish that part because that's the thing. Stylists, makeup, whatever. Those people sit and then we watch. We're visual thinkers, okay? So we constantly on our phones. We're not checking what Johnny's doing. We're not careless. I know, okay, nice, but you bold as beauty. Oh, you went up Lion's Head again. Oh, it was raining today. Why is it sunny out? It's fine. The point is we're on there because everything we see goes in. It's like, visual thinking is different than reading, in my opinion. You never forget a single visual that you see. You can't, it's impossible. So as much as you can see, and that would be my advice to anybody if you want to be creative, it's just, if you watch movies, as many as you can, but watch what they do.
I see there's like two perspectives to watch a movie. There's like one perspective where you get drawn into the story and you almost forget that you're watching a movie.
Then watch it again.
And then there's the second perspective is when you're
learning.
When you're learning, when you're watching the movie.
Yeah, but it could spoil the movie for you. But I think where I'm at, where I just know not too much of the technical stuff, I can still appreciate it for the technical side. Like the Joker I watched the other day, I was like, she's that's sick.
The Joker,
but good. Again, sure, the lighting and the setup was spot on and amazing with hidden little messages in the background that I want to know.
Yeah.
But the planning of that, those massive building of people that had to get together and make that thing happen, it's not easy.
That's crazy.
And the industry insiders will know about who was the stylist on that set. Queen's Gambit, look at the styling on that. It's super next level. I can't tell you who it is. I would have read the name because I would have specifically wanted to know who it was.
Still can't remember. It's
And
difficult.
where's the celebrity stylists? You know what I mean?
So people often get so remembered for their work, but not very often remembered for who they are, if that makes
And that's
sense.
why you, as the one that captures it, what's created in front of you, have an obligation to share ownership of that with the creatives that were involved with it, from a moral point of view.
I see.
So when we do a shoot, everyone gets it, right? Everyone, and there's no, I want to post it first. You can't put a filter. If you want to put a filter on it, put a filter on it.
Yeah.
People see it and who took it, and it's in the credit. Bakkes took it. They know I don't do filters, man.
Yeah.
You can we can unsee filters already. You know, it's been such a thing. Like,
That makes sense. But I think it's just a super important, like, to share, especially in the current industry, with like how crazy things have become with coronavirus and how tight it is. Personally, I've seen, because I'm so young to the industry, I'm just starting out now. So maybe it's just the like bracket of people that I know, all similar ages to me, also all starting out and whatnot. But I've seen this massive sort of collaboration drive, especially in Cape Town, because it's so cutthroat that we kind of actually have to share. For all of us to progress, you know, because there's so many new ideas and so many people working off of the same sort of material that it's almost become a necessity to collaborate, in my opinion. I don't know, have you found the same thing? Like that cutting edge is so sharp.
yeah, but it's definitely so. But look, if you, and you guys are young in it, but if you had to transition from the more, and I have to call it the freelance industry,
Yeah, of course. Makes sense.
because I mean, I know there's paid jobs and stuff, and you guys all help out. But if you climb into the corporate industry, okay, where you know where agencies are involved, advertising agencies, then it becomes a whole different game. It's not always lekker. It's you know, there's people there. You don't even know what they're doing there, but they're on your case.
Yeah.
I've been on shoots like that where Riehan, we are 5 minutes behind schedule. Serious?
Yeah.
5 minutes. I went to creative director. Please, man, can you get this lady off my back? 5 minutes. You got to be joking. If we're half an hour late, then let's talk. But I'm not going to leave here because I don't have the shot. An hour on, sure, and you know you're going to lose the entire shoot. Then it's a difference. See, so it becomes heavy because a lot of people's jobs depend on what they do there. You know, you guys can still. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's how we work. You can pull it through the night to make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not on this thing. Time is money. 5 o'clock. You got to be out of here.
Yeah.
You know. So then, but it needs to be like that at that level, and that's what you struggle with in a transition. But when you commercial professional at that level. Then you can totally handle anything, because that's still South Africa with respect. I don't know, you know, the big UK jobs and how it goes there, but you have to, if you get there, you're going to have to get into how that works, because if you play it right, it'll assist you 100% in doing your job as well.
I see. It gives you like that structure to sort of work to, because I've found with creatives,
and it can be tight.
With creatives, I think there's like two levels, and I think that in speaking to you, I've realized that it's like a whole different thing, because there's the people that are super creative and young that, given no restraints, can make amazing things.
Yeah.
But the moment that you have to take that creativity and put it into a timed space, now you've got to perform. You know what I'm saying? That's different. It's a different level of pressure. Like, I think, how would you say to transition with that? Is that just like consuming content, taking as many pictures as possible? Like, how would one go? Because we on this podcast, like, what we'd like to try and do is try and give sort of not workable or actionable strategies, but ways for the younger creatives to sort of up their game, help themselves, you know, change the mindset, change the life type of thing. So to sort of fit into that time pressure, like, did you have any strategies or workable things that you
No, but I mean, it's clear to me what my advice would be, and that is, it's difficult to choose the words because I don't want to discount the work that they're doing, because that's not what I'm doing at all. But let's call it more of the experimental stage of your career.
Yeah.
In terms of creativeness and what you can do, and when it's not so structured, and then you get to the prove yourself
Corporate phase,
section. Our work is so much more than just visual thinking. Unfortunately, we have to do the technical side. So we're the only arts with the right and left brain activity at the same time. It's mathematics, it's technical stuff, and it's creative stuff. Okay, so it's like, it's not just one brain. It's not a guy saying, okay, painting's got techniques, but still, get that
Very
experience with time. Time. Unfortunately, I always joke and say, what sets professionals apart from amateurs is when shit breaks. Okay?
Yeah.
But there's truth to it. Dude, today, I was like, oh, God, really? Fucking the one light broke, and I'm like, oh shit, what do you do? And then it's like panic mode.
Yeah.
The trick is to not sweat, client mustn't see it. You're like, oh, that's nice. Fuck.
Yeah. Get on the down low.
And you fix it.
Yeah.
Okay? So when you get to the more mature stage, have that shit down or have the people in place to do it for you. So it's like any other job, or put it like a ship. Okay? You want to be at the captain's role. So that you almost don't even want to have your hand on it anymore. You can just say,
this needs to happen, that needs to happen.
and now. And your crew must listen, and the ship will not sink. So that's where it's at. But to be able to delegate correctly, properly, and instructively, you have to know what the hell you're doing. And unfortunately, it's only based on time. I know you can be a great photographer in a year's time of practice, but you haven't seen all the scenarios yet. Getting the professional photographer license never ends.
Yeah.
Because the game's also changing. Shit, it's new boats all the time. You're like, whoa, mirrorless. Oh,
Yeah.
How does that work?
Yeah, I get you.
So that's exactly it. Because now there's a full-on war on, and now it's battle time, and you got to tell your O's what to do. And here you can go a bit more like, let's just hand it in creative. You're like that. That's very specific. This must be the outcome, and the budgets are big. And that's where you don't want to be, because no one wants to be held accountable for the money that's going to get lost.
But
And that's why they're fighting so hard, like pit bulls going, you're 5 minutes behind.
Yeah.
So
you got to kind of like break down those not competitive barriers, that hectic
the key is just planning.
plan.
Sit, have everything through. In that planning, that pre-production, you can already say, my girl, dude, if you feel that I'm falling behind, bring it under my attention on 20 minutes. Okay? Because I know through all that experience, if I lose half an hour, I'm going to gain half an hour.
Yeah.
And what happened that day? We had an hour lunch break. We were supposed to have 15 minutes?
Yeah, 15 minutes. It's because you need,
You're like-
It makes perfect sense.
With I'm just tripping because what you're saying, the way that you're saying it is very real, and it's making me, and I'm not trying to chuff you up or anything, but to be honest, it's making me really understand the creative field and have a different level of appreciation and also passion because of the way that you speak about it, the in-depth niche topics that you're able to go into and explain it. It's like, oh, I actually want to do that just because of the challenge associated to be the type of person to be able to create good things. So that challenge aspect makes me really passionate. But for someone of your caliber, so long in the industry, so much experience as we can all hear, what do you think is the toughest and then also the best part of the industry for you?
Sure. Well, the best part's easy. It's super rewarding.
In what ways?
Well, to just see something beautiful that you've made.
Oh, yeah.
When we go into a shoot, I tell people, especially when there's models involved, because it's going to be something, like, everyone's a bit nervous and whatever, even if they're pros. I say, what's super cool about this is when we all leave here today, there will be something in this universe, galaxy, the entire universe, right, that doesn't exist right now. Put that in perspective.
That's like
If it's good or not. Our day, we bring things. It's almost like you're bringing weight into this universe.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Like maths.
Where you almost want to throw the thing off. It's like, what's happening here?
You just
And the people's reaction to that sermon is amazing. They're like, oh, Never
Yeah,
thought of it like
that's-
that. And you get better out of them for it, you know?
That's so good.
Um,
Yeah.
So, yeah, then when you... for me, it's being alternative. That's very rewarding for me, and that I could have pulled it off in an alternative career. Because, you know, a lot of people frown on it. It's like, you sure you don't want to be an accountant, bro?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I could. I'm definitely capable, but I don't. I really don't. Because I want to wake up in the morning and know, wow, what shall I do today?
I feel like you say it like that as well.
Yeah.
And it starts with a beautiful sunrise, because I never miss one ever.
Yeah.
So you're right there, and it's like visual. Like, yeah. Okay?
Yeah.
And that's it. Then okay, sure, it's an admin day or whatever. It doesn't matter. It's just this inspiration in what you see the whole time.
That sunrise definitely changes things. Like I had to wake
You
up.
have
for a job
to see a
recently.
sunrise and you have to see the sunset. It is your human obligation. It's been given to you for free. Just go look at it.
Yeah, that's true. I think that appreciating
And it makes you get up early. That's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
Don't sleep late.
That's
Don't
a good
sleep
thing.
late.
I'm definitely a victim of that. Like I sleep. Not a victim actually. Like definitely do that willingly.
That's a good.
Sleep in the afternoon when the sun's high. Can't shoot then. So.
That's a good.
Well,
good
you
tips.
can.
Hashtag photographer tips.
Yeah, I actually
When the
want
sun's
you.
out.
I want you to ask. What do you do to set yourself up for success? Like you mentioned, waking up early. What are the other things throughout the day that you do to make sure? Okay, cool. Bakkes is sorted.
Nothing. Don't want to disappoint you on that, but I don't have to go and say, dude, I need to go have a jog now because it's going to make me feel better and I'll be creative. When I wake up, I'm amped. I'm ready.
It's passion.
I wake up an hour before the family, so it's quiet time.
Oh,
Dead
that's
quiet.
nice.
Okay. It gives me an hour. I can see the sunrise, have my coffee, check the news, do all that. Then I wake them up. Then it's another hour till I go to work. So I start work early as well. So it's a 5 o'clock I wake up, some are 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock's wake up time, 7 o'clock off to school. And you know, most people start work at 9 o'clock, and by then I've already got 2 hours in because I know I'm bad in the afternoons. I get tired, and so I'd rather club it in the morning, right? So no, there's no preparation. The thing that drives me is because you shit yourself, man. I still shit myself when there's a big sheet. You're like, oh fuck, I just wish I'd phone and cancel it.
Yeah.
Ek sien lus hier, bro.
Really?
Why?
That's
Why?
no.
Because you don't know what's going to happen. It's the fear of the unknown. And even though I'm massively experienced, okay,
Yeah.
I'm 99% of the things that you think is going to go wrong will never go wrong.
Yeah.
And that's what another photographer told me a long time ago. I just can't remember her name. Enrique Wilding.
Oh, wow.
And so there's truth. I'm not worried about it, but you know, I'm excited to see the people again. Make it come in. All the stuff that can go wrong. When it happens, there's that, okay, cool, let's fix it. All right, so there's this pump. You don't walk away from a shoot if you haven't got the shot. I mean, you can't not get the shot anymore. You just do it, and that's pumping for me. Because I like that chase, that thrill where it's like, okay, let's do this. And it's, you know, got mood boards are laid out. You know exactly what's going to happen, but you don't know what's going to happen, what's going to go wrong. You're like, oh, sorry guys, I just quickly want to go fix that thing that broke.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, that's what I like.
See, you're such a structured place. So it's like, because you've been in the industry for so long, there's things that are so like nicely laid out. So it almost gives you that platform, that freedom to just create. You don't have to necessarily stress about a filing system or if this client is paid or not paid. I mean, of course you probably do, but because you have such a nice like structure laid out for yourself that you put a lot of hard work into.
Okay, all right.
you
But
that.
does the guy walking up to the pitch, does he think about his taxes that are due, bro?
Nah.
No. Yeah, fair enough.
Okay, the guy that takes off on a wave, does he for a moment think that he's got homework that evening?
Not a chance.
All right, so
The zone.
let's get that
Yeah.
clear.
The
Because
zone.
when you step to the pitch, you drop in on that vert ramp and whatever, it's game time. The day goes like, you're like, what? Is it 5 o'clock? Shit, can't believe it. And then tomorrow, once you're off that rush, and you wake up and you're like, oh, I love my life. Then you gotta go do admin when you got some downtime and
Yeah.
keep on.
Would you say there's any predominant like thought coaches that are out there today, like a Jordan Peterson maybe, or somebody like that, like maybe a Gary Vee, or somebody that you've taken inspiration from, or anyone that you hasn't necessarily had a big impact on you, particularly?
I did get some info of Gary Vee. Did appreciate it. I got a bit.
Shout out Gary Vee.
Gary, please come on also.
Yeah, please, bro.
Please, dog.
Been
Don't
waiting.
sue me. I don't care. We'll
Yeah.
get you on, sir.
But I'm not on TikTok, Gary.
Jesus, shots fired.
Yeah.
I'm on TikTok. Because you still I must be on TikTok. I'm still not rich. Okay? Meanwhile, he's invested in TikTok. Dude. He just wants to carry.
Yeah, he's just like influencing for TikTok.
I always do think that if he's just shouting out all of those things to bring the price up.
I mean, maybe.
Anyways, sorry.
Yeah.
I love Peter McKinnon. He's a legend. He makes filmmaking look fun, and he's cool.
Yeah. He looks cool too. He definitely
But no, I don't look at motivators for that. I buy books a lot of books.
Top recommend.
Photography books.
Top 5 books.
I'll just sit down.
Okay.
So
We're just gonna have a cut
okay,
quickly.
good time for you to sit down.
Just checking us out here. Cool. We good. Okay.
Okay, so I buy books.
Yeah.
And a lot of books. I love printed coffee table books of the artists that artists and stylists that I look up to.
Yeah.
Young, old, doesn't matter. I appreciate a book. I appreciate print because there's no prompt to say new post, refresh feed.
Yeah.
And you feel there's a rush, you know. It also, I mean, the process. I mean, someone would have now taken the time and effort to make sure that that thing prints correctly. I mean, the gap between what you've shot and what's printed is a massive gap. That's a science on its own. That's art on its own.
Yes.
And I can refer back to it quite quickly, and you can really take your time and look at it. There I study because I look at everything. Why? That's my question. Why is this shot so amazing? And then you just pull it apart.
What
went into it is a conversation. Yeah, look at the
So it's
lighting.
like only the best pictures make it to print, right? Because it's so easy to post things online that I can almost lose value.
A better crop, but I'm sure now there's just so few magazines and stuff left. But I mean, I mean, you can still trust Vogue and Bazaar and Tattoo. You can still trust them. It's just coffee table books are by an artist, and you can luckily online just go and check. Is this worth it? Most of the time, it's someone you've known or heard of, because when you go to the magazines like Vogue, and you'll see, amazing, who did this? And then you can see and reference it on Instagram. And when a book comes out, you're like, I love that artist. I want it, because it's also a collection. It's nice to have something, and collect becomes a hobby.
It makes sense, yeah. I love books. We've actually got, I don't know, maybe 50 books in here. None of them are like editorials though, or anything like that, but just more mindset books that we really get into.
What would you say is your top 3 books that inspired you?
Or photographers.
Yeah, let's
That
go for
or your favorites?
Well, that's
as well?
kind of what it is. My favorite photographer, and I've got a book that I treasure, is Patrick de Marchelier. French photography, the whole buddy. Yes, but he rocks. Yeah. It's just classic, but his style hasn't changed much. If you look in comparison to 30 years ago, 40 years ago, it's the same style, but it's magic. It's just, again, not so much the technical front. I would love to be in that room with them, because something happens there to get it right. That's the art. The photography part, the physical photography part, is 5% of the game. It's like riding a bicycle. Okay, you can't go with it, win the Tour de France. You don't think about cycling anymore.
Yeah,
it's everything else.
It's like that in anything.
That's all the prep.
That's at a high level.
Yeah,
exactly what I've been saying. You know what I mean? So that's kind of weird when people go, so what do you do for a living? I'm a photographer. I go, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I wish you could say, like, dude, I'm like a visual planning astronomical scientist. You know, where they go like, sure, that sounds interesting.
Yeah.
But instead they go, okay, so what do you shoot?
Yeah.
And you go, well, and then you tell them. And then it's different, then it becomes interesting.
Yeah.
But I mean, like any other job, I suppose, it's like, And that is funny. I do appreciate it when they do that, but yes, it's that process. I mean, this links into what we said right in the beginning. That process is the magic.
Yeah. What would you? Because I asked you previously, what is the hardest part about the industry? But what is the biggest challenge you personally faced going through this industry and just your journey? What is the hardest thing to overcome?
The hardest thing is to get noticed. Is to, well, from a business point of view, build your clients. That's what it is, because you have to be noticed. And for the work to get to a point where people go, geez, it's always nice when someone comes and say, yeah, man, that's a beautiful shot. You know? That's how I think, because as a creative, and it's healthy to do so, you must always doubt yourself. Is this really a nice shot? We know the story. Your favorite shot's not necessarily what someone else likes, right? And the one you would have been is like, oh my god, it's so amazing.
Yeah.
Because it's a personal thing. There's emotions connected to it,
So
and you see different stuff. But those two go hand in hand, because it really is the same thing. It's to find your position in this world and hierarchy of other creatives that are now there. It's to not be seen necessarily and stand out, because I mean, you're not. It's first, like anything else, you want to fit in, you want to be capable, and then you want to become part of the game. So first you're like standing on the sidelines, you're cheering the team, watching what the guys are doing. Sorry, I'm full of metaphors, and then
That's so good.
It works. And then you're like, okay, you start carrying the water and stuff, and like chatting to the guys, and then you make practice, and then you build up and you make the team. And then ultimately, hopefully, you become a coach and whatever, and it just keeps on going. I say again, there is no end to this game. No one has ever gone and said, dude, I'm now on.
I finished
at the top.
creativity.
I finished that game.
Not in wealth, not in reputation. I mean, there are the golden ones, but ultimately, maybe your first prize is to end up in the textbooks. But it's very difficult now to change the world of whatever genre, and if it's videography or whatever, it's difficult because it's now very competitive. Where you can imagine in the 40s and 50s, guys made simple changes to the process by just introducing movement on a slow shutter in fashion photography, and all of a sudden that person is now in the textbooks, and they are masters and great. But there was far less to deal with than what we have now. Now it's a swamp.
That makes sense. I find though because there's so many growing assets within the creative community and with content, if you're playing the game cleverly kind of from now, like you're putting up stuff for a stock library that could in 3 years become a small annuity income. Maybe it's $200 a month, but like that $200 a month could be
The
very
difference
helpful.
between stress.
Stress or no stress in the future, and maybe like getting content up on some social media platforms like maybe a YouTube or on an Instagram, something to give you currency. I think because, in my opinion, there's such a big like growing market share in content because everything's become visual and people are staying at home because of lockdown, so all they're doing is just consuming content. So it definitely makes it more difficult to stand out, but I think it makes it easier to succeed as well because it's so saturated. Because there's so much money going into it, I think that you don't necessarily have to be as good to make it anymore. Whereas in the time that you grew up with, it was like, it's quite an investment, man. You've got film, you've got to develop that film. There's only so much sort of room within the industry because it was still a lot smaller. You really had to like earn your place. So I think in that way, like I draw a lot of inspiration out of you because you've really had to go through the paces. You were in the game for a good 10 years before we even had digital cameras. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, off the track. Yeah, I had a chat with a stylist the other day. We worked at the same company in the 2000s, and we were giggling, but it was fun to do it. How there was this night run of dudes that had to run between the process labs in the middle of the night to get the shit processed for magazine, for print the next day, right?
What?
There was this whole world that existed because we were using film and not digital, right?
Yeah.
That had to physically run around and like get these rolls in, get them out, get them to the lab, prep them, get them ready for the creative directors to sign off and whatever and get it to print.
That's a whole different world.
Sorry, I digress, but what troubles me about social media nowadays and creativity is that the art's getting a little bit diluted. Okay, and I have to say that with Scorchum because I appreciate any creative. Certain styles, and I call them styles because rules apply to styles. Okay, rules are there to be broken. We know it, but the style is a style. Popularity is not gained based on the content and quality and the technique of your images so much anymore today. It's more about other things. And what's interesting, and I mean anybody can contest me on this because this is just my firm belief, is that the quality of photography that's acceptable technique-wise, in inverted commas, have dropped with the fact that anybody can do it, and your phone can take a really nice picture and whatever, yeah. That real concern. I mean, if you take a gesoute photograph, right, you'll say, okay, let's draw out the photo, the mistakes, they are there, but there was a dilution, a numbing of the art because so much of it's being pushed out. It's a good thing. I use it in my work every day now because I can relax. I don't have to apply certain techniques anymore because it's acceptable now to just shoot in a certain way. I still obviously want to make it look good and look better because it must always stand out. And you always want Patrick the martial air to look down and go, gee, good shot. Not, you didn't do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Of course.
And for yourself. So there's a regulation that's gonna happen there. It's easy to put presets on stuff. Presets don't work on anything, and it helps you curate your thing. And if the wording and the content is right, you can have a good product going. But if your product is photography, then you gotta keep it at that level. Don't be fooled by the dilution of the art because so many people are just flogging it out there. And don't forget, people are editing on 72 dpi now. The proof in the pudding, my man, is if you can print that shit and it looks good. And that's what's getting lost here. Our generation, my generation, definitely shoots still, and it's ingrained in us, it should be a A0 print. And someone will stand right up close to it with a loop and suss it out. Yeah?
See, that's such an advantage because we don't even know the cost, like in our mindset of having to use film. Like you've only got, 16?
It wasn't expensive. It was 30 rand a roll and 30 rand to process.
No, what I mean
Now
more is
it's
like,
expensive.
what I mean more is like when you're in the field, you're costing yourself a picture if you take a bad one because you only have as much film as you have.
Yeah.
Whereas nowadays you go into set, you shoot 1,000 pictures in 3 hours maybe. Whereas if you you're on set, you got film rolls, but you only have 4 film rolls. It's maybe 100 pictures. That's a different
12
game.
shots in a roll, though.
Only 12 shots in a row. So you see, I don't even know. But so you got
That's stress, right?
48 pictures and you got to make it work. But also, as you said earlier, it's like you're on set. That's the only time on set. You're never going to get the same lighting. You're never going to get the same. It's never going to be the same day. So now you're working on film. That's another level of stress. But we lose that because we just. I whip out my phone and take pictures all the time.
Can you do that again? The problem is you log it, bro. It's burnt. That chemical is reactive.
Yeah.
It's etched.
Yeah.
Fixing it in post.
Yeah, that's crazy. Imagine that pressure.
I don't know. I was doing some like high risk shooting like weddings on film. No, danger pay. Right?
Yeah.
What you need for that stuff.
Yeah, because a bride will kill you.
Insurance.
So look, the process was that you take the film back off the camera or have a second camera with a Polaroid back. Because you have a Canon or a whatever, and then you put Polaroid in and shoot. I'm gonna check his sound. and I'm gonna check. Okay, fuck. I'm gonna change that a bit. And light readers and stuff. So it was a flippin' narrow science that we and me included have now gone and said, okay, you know what? Let's just take a shot and see what it looks like. It's just an actuation. Delete it, move on.
Yeah.
So the knowledge on set there had to be 100 times more intense, and that was the job of the assistants. They had to go light read on exactly the right place. They had to make, your job as an assistant was to make sure that there's one Polaroid taken to get it right.
Really?
You know?
Yo, that sounds awesome.
Because, sir, ma'am, here's the reading. This should be the settings, because you got to then work it out in your head, work out the ratios, give them the numbers.
Yeah.
That's legend.
That is.
That's like guys that build space shuttles and shit.
Yeah, that's crazy. Let me ask you this question. Do you find that because automation, or let's say like AI, has taken over so much of that portion of work, like you don't need an assistant with a light reader, you just take an image, as you said. Because a lot of the like knowledge is being outsourced to computer software or computer programming, do you feel like it gives you more room for creativity? Because now you don't have to spend all that mental energy worrying about if your light's going to be good enough or not. So, or do you feel like it gives you less because now you don't
It's almost like less knowledge.
Yeah, there's almost like a layer missing to the.
No, I don't think
I like
so.
that question.
I don't think so. I feel sorry that it's put people out of work.
Yeah.
Artificial intelligence is a great thing. It speeds up the process, and ultimately, time is money.
Yeah.
But we still need people to be able to program those AIs. So the theory must still be there. If you have the theory and understand why the AI is doing it, you're always in a better position than if you didn't.
That's true.
Unfortunately, that becomes the norm. I mean, there's so many things we do, and we go, flick the kettle. Why does it happen? What happens in there?
Yeah.
Forget. And again, like I said earlier, when shit breaks, then you're very happy to know exactly why it's breaking and why it's not working. Even your cell phone pic's not looking so cool because you know that AI is messing up that principle. It can't distinguish the difference. Okay? This is what I must do to change it. Okay? So those theories are important. Make yourself great. Make sure you know those things. Go and read up and see how film worked and understand why there's beautiful grain on film that we're struggling to get on digital. Go and ask yourself the question. Perhaps you'll try film and appreciate it for what it is and use it on certain items and just get something back to it. I mean, I'm a commercial photographer. I shoot every day of my life.
Yeah.
When I go away on weekends with my family and I want to do recreational photography, I mean, I don't take my bag with me. It's a big, heavy bag. Lenses and, then I take a film camera. It's a whole different game. You have only got 12 rolls, it's expensive. You want to choose that pick real nice. Sometimes you walk around and it's like, no, I didn't see anything magic.
And you just
didn't take anything for the day. Yeah.
Imagine going out with your camera.
And then again,
not
it's
taking any pictures.
I hope that one came out.
Is that that's like an excitement.
And then you wait for weeks and then you get it and you're like, oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, that's
you
nice.
Pack it away or you print it and you enlarge it. It's just lacquer.
That's really nice. I like that.
So I love the topic of knowledge because I think a lot of us strive towards that, and we obviously know that you are super experienced. What is this is going to be something that can only come from you,
and
I think we're all going to be able to depart with this knowledge as we close the session, and then go into rapid fire questions. But what is the biggest lesson you've learned throughout this entire journey through the industry? Or just in life in general.
Yeah.
I think I'm still busy learning it. Okay, that's the big answer. But it's a couple of things. Don't say no. Accept. Let the fire that the fuel. How do I say? Just let that fire burn. Okay. If you amped on something, let it go. And if you get bored with it, then it means expand it. Put some air on it. Give it more gas. Keep going. Be humble. Always. Learn and accept and compliment. Like Douglas Cockwell would have taught me. Let people have it. Tell them when they need to be told, to be taught. If you can offer advice, be hard sometimes or don't. But share, because look, if you're on the receiving end, it's not nice. I've been there, and I'm still there. If you fail, definitely don't dwell on it. It sucks, dude. It's not nice.
No dwelling in this dwelling.
Yeah.
If you can't harness that energy of that negative and turn it into making yourself grow. What movies have we seen? There's some stories where you know,
Like Blade Runner.
Fifth Element.
Yeah, Fifth
Hit
Element.
those torpedoes at this thing, you know,
Yeah.
and it just gets bigger. You know, it's that whole thing. So have respect for those that are better than you, those that aren't but work harder than you, that are and work harder than you.
I like that.
Have respect, because none of us sleep at night. We all graft more than the other guy. Accountants close that book and go home, right? We don't. Because we're constantly sitting like, jeez, I have to get better. I gotta do this better. I gotta change this. I wanna do that. Oh, I've seen that picture. I wish I could be like that. I wanna be the guy that took that photo. I wanna be the guy that made that video.
Yes.
And that's the thing that makes you want to go. Because once you've told yourself, oh, that was sick, man, that's an inspiration. It's constantly gonna be in your brain. So you're gonna unconsciously be looking for those answers the whole time and go in that direction. Do free shoots. Do shoots for the fun of it. Not just pay a job. I mean, money is important. You have to live. You have to have the gear. You have to, you know, build a business and have it self-sufficient. But if you can, do the free stuff. Collab. Meet people. It's about the people. And nothing worse than A, B, C, and D coming into the room and everyone's there and it's like, yeah, fucked there. It's not like that. Chad, by the end of that day, apart from creating something that didn't exist in this entire universe, people have connected. Look, we can go back in the old thing, and there is truth to it. If you take a photo of someone, you take a part of their soul, right? As a portrait photographer, that's where you feel it the most. Of course, models are professional and they've got skills other than a random person you're taking a portrait of. The challenge with a good portrait is you got to tap into that person so that you can get something out of it, that photograph, if you had to look at it and know that person or not, you could be able to tell something about that person. Okay? That's the most draining form of photography, in my opinion, is portrait. Okay?
Really?
It's hardcore. If you do it right. If you do it like Richard Avedon and the people that I admire and really love.
Yeah.
I mean, he had some shock treatments and therapies and little ways and questions that he asked that really bring like heavy stuff. Well, that's for another time, but the bottom line is if it is your clients in studio and you're shooting a perfume bottle, it's that interaction. Don't forget that person is like got some superpowers and you don't. Because you're Batman, you're Superman, that's Wonder Woman over there. You just don't, you know. And that's it. And you know, that way there's no enemies. There's no fighting, and there's no time for that.
Yeah.
Look, we're creatives, okay? So we've got different ways of living. There's the if you were friends with them type human to human fighting, and then there's the job we're supposed to do. That language here is like super lekker. I don't think if you become personal friends with everybody, it's always going to work out. But it is like a super team. It's like, yeah, guys, let's go. Bat fucking ding is shining. Let's go. Everyone's in. And it's sayonara. And it's like, look at the man. You know? Yeah. But if we had to go away for a week and I'm going to tell you now, but I was like, yeah, what a bitch. He's not like, and they'll tell me I'm not doing it. That's just a game. So that's it. Be humble. Have respect for the people lesser and bigger than you. They're either trying or they have tried and they're trying still, or it's a mix of the whole two. You just don't know. We're creatives, man. We're all broke. Yeah. And we don't sleep enough.
That's true. That's very true. Gotta taste.
Such a good line. So good.
Where's the mic?
That was amazing.
That was so good.
Do you want to ask your question?
No, dude, no.
The main question.
Okay, let's go. So there's one question that we'd like to ask everyone that comes on the podcast. I think I forgot to ask Christine.
No, you didn't.
But that's okay. If you, in your opinion, if there was one thing that the individual could do to benefit the community, or one thing that the community could do to benefit all of the individuals within, what do you think that thing would be? I don't mean within the industry. I mean more.
Yeah, I don't think I understand your question.
Day-to-day life.
Cut that out later. Just explain the question again. Just roll again.
Yeah. So if you if there's one thing in your opinion that you think in this current day and age of coronavirus and fear and like a bit of economic hard times for everybody, and a lot more, let's say, control, what do you think that the one thing that we can do as South Africans, that the individual can do to benefit the community, or that in each member of the community could do to benefit the individual, or each individual within the community?
Yes, right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it's a bit of a riddle, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, let me link stuff straight back to what I said earlier.
Okay.
And hear this now. Be humble
Yeah.
and have respect for the people that are trying less than you and harder than, people that are not as good as you, that's hungrier than you, that's wealthier than you, that's got to keep up that fight to be there. It comes down to those same things. Be humble and have respect. Have respect for the guy at the robot begging, you know?
Yeah.
The same principle applies everywhere. We are conscious human beings. We're part of this massive galaxy and universe. We're fortunate. We're the special ones because we can make stuff that didn't exist the morning. All right? Okay? So we've got the ability, like anyone else, to understand the universe. And there's not a lot of it, but you must. But you have a responsibility in the human realm. Okay? I'm not going to say it's your direct responsibility to go and help someone that you see struggling. I'm old enough to know that sometimes it just happens.
Yeah.
Something will move in and you'll stop. You'll pick the guy up, move him to the side, give him a bread, whatever.
Yeah.
But it comes down to the fundamentals. Is to have respect and to be humble. Because tomorrow you could be in the same position. You don't know the background. It could be harder, it could be better. Whatever.
I like that.
So I can't give more than that. I'm not that deep a person, but at least there's continuity.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome.
That was
Make the t-shirts. Be humble, have respect.
Let's go.
Let's go.
That would slap.
Comment below
Print
if
them,
you
Gary
want that.
Vee.
Yeah. Comment below if you want the be humble, have respect shirts.
Yeah. So we're gonna close off with quick fire question, but before we do, first of all, that was honestly it's been I'm really not saying this to say anything else besides you've instilled passion in me that wasn't there before, which is something I'm always on the search for because I know it makes me better as a person because it helps me grow and learn more things so I can do the same for others. But then also number two, it's been a long time since I've spoken to someone, and it's not that I'm in awe of anything besides the words that came out now and the way that you put everything. So I really want to say thank you for that.
Cool, great.
Thank you.
Hell yeah.
So with the quick fire questions, you can either give a phrase or you can just one word it. What do you think when you hear slow down?
Slow down.
Cool. One fear you have.
No. I mean, if someone's going to tell me slow down, okay. I'll slow down. All right.
Makani. Yeah.
Okay, one fear you have.
I'm losing my family. Upright.
What do you feel when you hear the word consciousness?
The universe, the galaxy, creation.
I like that.
When you hear the word photography?
Pretty pictures.
He goes from the
Alliteration.
I stole because I was going to say mooi print.
Best advice ever received?
A rapid fire or a slow fire, slow down. Best advice that I've ever received, I suppose it's just be what you want to be. It wasn't told to me, but it was definitely through actions. It links with what we said in the beginning. Just those actions of, bro, what do you want?
Yeah, yeah,
Dad, I want to be
Let that
this.
fire burn.
Sure, dude. Dad, I want to make movies. Bro, I don't have the means, but let me take you for an interview. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
There's always a way.
And I mean, can you imagine what the O must have felt? It's like, I wish I could have.
Yeah.
But you just gooi it back. Sure, it's not movies. It's gonna come still.
Yeah, it'll definitely come.
It won't be shaky.
Yeah.
Or maybe because I'm not looking at old things. But then it comes.
No, you shaking. That's why you see it like that.
Put it in your glass.
Worst advice ever received.
Yo.
That you can get rich quick. There's
Yeah.
no more bullshit in this world. It's a slow, steady path. Being humble and being respectful.
Enjoying the process.
There's no other way.
Trust that process.
Last question. What does self-discipline mean to you?
You who doesn't have self-discipline. It means that you don't lose focus of what it is that you feel you need to achieve. Okay? So
Jesus.
No, but the goals change all the time. It's like today I gotta do this and I gotta do of course. But I would want to say you were born with what you're supposed to do. So I can't do it tomorrow, I can't do it next week, perhaps. But I know what I have to do and what I want to do. I'm talking about where I want to be in terms of what I want to create. So it's about that feeling. Don't let go. Because there's distractions all the time. Shit, life is complicated, man, and stuff all the time. But you can't say, what was I thinking about? Oh, my focus. No, you wake up with like,
thinking about my focus.
Yeah.
and that's the one that's with you when you stand outside 5 a.m. and the sun's coming up. That's something like, wow, that's pretty like, I gotta create something amazing. It's through conflict and rehabilitation and all that type of thing. What you feel you need to do.
Awesome.
That's amazing. Cool. Yo, thank you so much.
What's up?
Yeah.
Thank you so much. That was
All
super
right.
inspirational.
Yeah.
Hope you have a good rest of your day. Thank you.
Shaka.
Ciao, ciao.
Shaka. Thanks.